Medical device companies have very unique ERP needs. So, what are the ERP systems that are the best fit for medical device companies in 2023? That's exactly what we are going to discuss in this video. So, let's dive in. Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Gupta, and I am principal at Elevate IQ. Elevate IQ is the independent ERP and digital transformation consulting firm. We help our clients when they undertake digital transformation journey and they need help in taking their initiatives from the strategy planning phase until go live for any ERP or any digital transformation engagements. Let's get back to today's topic, which is going to be the top 10 medical device ERP systems for 2023. Before we look at the list, we are going to define what medical device companies mean in the context of this video. So we are looking at any of the business models that might be part of your medical device ecosystems. And the best way to think about this is going to be the companies that might be hanging out in the medical device trade shows. And that is going to be any of the CapEx equipment manufacturers or the consumable manufacturers, whether you are talking about any of the diagnostic companies or the CROs, all of these are going to be part of the medical device ecosystem. Even the service providers, because they are going to have the compliance and quality processes that they need to follow. So that's why all of this is bundled as part of the medical device portfolio. Now, each of these business models may have very unique needs in terms of the way they process their transactions, the way they have their quality processes, the kind of systems that they are going to be requiring in their architecture, along with ERP or any other systems that they might have. So the needs could differ. To compile this list, we look at several different factors, such as the success in the medical device vertical, how successful the product is with these kind of companies. Then we look at the market share, we look at the product quality, the ecosystem, the talent, the development, the roadmap, so many different factors that we are tracking on a daily basis. And based on all of that, we compile this list. So now let's look at the list. Number 10 on our list is the product called Rootstock. Last year we had Syspro, so some changes there. Rootstock is a SMB product in the Salesforce ecosystem. Rootstock does have some medical device installations just because it's really strong in the engineer to order kind of processes. It's very strong in the MRP. In general, the medical device companies are going to have very strong CPQ requirements because they are going to have quality processes that they need to follow as part of their CRM CPQ layer. So they might want to utilize the same Salesforce experience as part of your ERP as well. And that's why Rootstock is able to win in those verticals. Rootstock requires another solution called Compliance Quest in the Salesforce ecosystem for quality, and it's really enterprise grade quality add-on that we have in the Salesforce portfolio. So you are going to get very, very deep quality solution that you are going to require, whether you are going for any of your compliance processes. So the strength for Rootstock is going to be the cloud native mobile capabilities are extremely strong as well, just because it's built as part of the force.com platform. And the mixed mode manufacturing capabilities are present in Rootstock. Now, the weaknesses for Rootstock is going to be the finance and accounting capabilities. It's not really designed for those financially regulated organizations. Traditionally, it did not have the finance and accounting capabilities, and it ended up developing those capabilities. So even today, it's not going to be as strong. The CFOs are not going to appreciate it as much just because of the native experience that they might like in SAP or Sage. Now, the other weaknesses for Rootstock is the reliance on third-party quality module, and that is going to be your compliance quest, and the ecosystem is very small as well. Having said that, rootstock is a strong contender for medical device companies, and that's why it ranks at number 10 on our list. Now, number 9 on our list is the product called Syspro. Last year we had DCOM, so some changes there. Syspro does well with medical device companies. It's targeted for very small medical device companies. And the strength for Syspro, especially in the smaller product category, is going to be it has the discrete as well as process manufacturing capabilities. So sometimes when you are going to be producing both drug and device, or you might have the drug that goes with device, those could be the patches where Syspro could be really handy. And Syspro is also very commoditized distribution, light manufacturing centric product. So it does really well in those patches where you don't require very complex manufacturing, but require lean manufacturing, both from the discrete as well as from the process perspective. The strength for Syspro will be that it has very deep inventory and supply chain capability similar to your SAP Business One, and the medical device quality requirements, they have a lot of this functionality pre-baked as part of the product, and the native support for process manufacturing capability. So those are some of the strengths for Syspro. Now, the weaknesses for Syspro is going to be it's fit for companies with one or a couple of legal entities. It's probably a stretch just because of the disconnected experience that you are going to get. But if you don't care for that, Syspro might be okay. But you might have to keep these instances in several different databases. For the most part, when you have just one site or a couple of sites, that's where Syspro is going to be okay. The other weaknesses for Syspro is going to be limited manufacturing capabilities and not a fit for large capital equipment medical device manufacturers, designed for slightly less complex products from the medical device perspective. Having said that, Syspro is still a very strong product for medical device companies, and that's why it ranks at number 9 on our list. Now, number 8 on our list is the product called DCOM. Last year we had Oracle ERP Cloud. DCOM is a very small product, but it's newer overall in terms of its look and feel. It's slightly simpler product in general. The strength for DCOM is going to be its technology, just because it's cloud native. Even in the smaller category, it's going to have the SQL based database. So it's not file based. So you still have that data integrity that you are going to need for the regulated industry, as regulated as medical device. DCOM also has the process manufacturing capabilities similar to your Syspro. So if you are doing drug as well as device, or if you are more of the IVD company, that's where your process manufacturing capabilities are going to be handy, because you would probably require both. The track and trace and root accounting is going to be handy as well when you might be mentioning your fleet that you need to have for the local pharmacies, and that's where your track and trace and root accounting is probably going to be handy. Now, the weaknesses for DCOM is that not a discrete manufacturing product. It's a very process centric product, so it's primarily useful for drugs, fit for fast moving consumable products, not necessarily good for the CapEx equipments. For example, let's say if you are producing gloves or gowns, hospital gowns, it might be okay, but not really for the CapEx radiology machines or the cancer machines, not really fit for that. The limited finance and supply chain management capabilities. So operationally, it could be strong. The CRM processes are probably going to be strong as well. But overall, when you look at the deep inventory, finance, and supply chain processes, when you look for those one-to-one scenarios, when you are going to be looking at, let's say, if you have just one-to-one process from your sales order to your pick order, then it might be okay. But when you are looking at those one-to-one scenarios, those deep layers of MRP, those are not going to be present with DCOM. Having said that, DCOM is still a very strong product for medical device companies, and that's why it ranks at number 8 on our list. Number 7 on our list is the product called Oracle Cloud ERP. Last year we had Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, so some changes there. Oracle Cloud ERP is a very large product. It targets publicly traded organization, or the companies that are going to have probably more than $1 billion in revenue. The strength for Oracle Cloud ERP is that it is going to have very deep accounting as well as the financial compliance capabilities. The core ERP capabilities are going to be really good. So when you are using this only for accounting financial reporting, then Oracle Cloud ERP could be great, but not for the operational capabilities. When you are looking for everything as part of the same package, Oracle Cloud ERP may not be the best bet. The best of breed capabilities are going to be there as part of your Oracle Cloud ERP portfolio when you are looking for those integrated as part of the solution. For example, when you look at the TMS, WMS, HCM processes, those are going to be, as well as your CPQ, those are going to be available as part of the portfolio. They are going to be pre-integrated, so you might not require as much IT capabilities in these integrations, but you will require far more IT capabilities in building the compliance regulatory capabilities. And sometimes you might be able to find the add-ons, but those add-ons could be error prone, may not be as well documented, and then you might have the vendor conflict issues as well. The financial control and public company capabilities is where Oracle Cloud ERP really shines. Now, the weakness for Oracle Cloud ERP is those last mile capabilities. Those are not going to be there. The configuration and the customization time is going to be longer just because of the complexity of the product. So that increases your implementation time as well. The resources that are going to be consulting in this space are going to be far more expensive than your SMB market. So that also increases your implementation cost. Not as relatable for the plant level employees if you are looking for this as the operational product. The shop floor workers are probably not going to like this. Having said that, Oracle Cloud ERP is still a very strong product for medical device companies, and that's why it ranks at number 7 on our list. Now, number 6 on our list is Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. Last year we had Epicure Kinetic. Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O has very similar market positioning as your Oracle Cloud ERP solution. Primarily targets larger companies. The strength for Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O is those core ERP mixed mode manufacturing capabilities when you are going to be accommodating many different business models from the discrete process perspective or distribution, and when you are going to be looking at many different integrations, that's where Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O really shines. The best of breed capabilities, especially if you are looking for best of breed CRM, that is going to be slightly friendlier for product centric companies when you are going to have compliance issues, whether you can publish a specific product in a specific market just because it might not be approved in that market. Most of the medical device companies, first, they are going to be applying for CE compliance. They might be able to sell in Europe, but they might not be able to sell in North America. And that needs to be controlled as part of your quoting process, as part of your CPQ processes. So that's where you need far deeper CRM capabilities, and you probably would require a dedicated CRM. And that's where Microsoft 365 F&O really shines. The technical architecture in general is going to be far deeper because you have the Azure layer, and as part of that, you might get far deeper technical capabilities. If you plan to develop anything custom, that's where it might be on one stack, Microsoft.NET, which is the developers are easier to find in general in the .NET ecosystem. So those are some of the strengths. Now, the weaknesses for Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O are going to be very similar to your Oracle Cloud ERP, which is your medical device last mile functionality, will require deeper IT capabilities as well as the COE inside your organization. The customizability is going to be a problem. The implementation control, the unique challenge with Microsoft Dynamics or the Microsoft ecosystem is going to be that Microsoft in general has a very handoff approach to their implementation partners. Microsoft does not have the support even for their partners unless you are a really big partner. So let's say, and sometimes it's very hard to find out how much a partner may be selling, and they might not have support from Microsoft. So they might do whatever they can in their power to be able to support your product, but sometimes that could fire back from the implementation perspective. So compared to, let's say, the Oracle or SAP ecosystems, Microsoft ecosystem in general is very hard to navigate. Having said that, Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O is still a very strong product, and that's why it ranks at number 6 on our list. Now, number 5 on our list is the Epicure Kinetic product. Last year we had rootstock. Epicure Kinetic does really well in the medical device space, especially it targets the mixed mode manufacturing companies. The strength for Epicure Kinetic is going to be those mixed mode manufacturing capabilities. The UX experience is not going to be as great, even though they have migrated to the cloud. They have the kinetic experience, but it might not be as stable as of today. But overall, it's better than some of the legacy products that we have on. Last mile medical device capabilities are part of the product. So you might get out of the box much more as part of your Epicure Kinetic solution than you are going to find with other products. The weakness for Epicure Kinetic is the BOM data integrity may not be there. If you are in the consumable space, you might not care for that because you might not have as deep manufacturing processes. The third-party quality module is going to be a challenge as well in terms of the communication of these software. Epicure ERP layer does not have the quality module. They rely on the third party. MES layer has the quality. So depending upon the kind of architecture that you are trying to build, and that is going to work for your business processes, you need to find out, what is going to be right fit for you. Now, the configurator is also weaker. It might be okay for consumable, not so great for very complex configurable devices. Having said that, Epicure Kinetic is still a very strong product for medical device companies, and that's why it ranks at number 5 on our list. Now, number 4 on our list is SAP S/4HANA. Last year also we had SAP S/4HANA at this spot, so no changes there. SAP S/4HANA has very similar market positioning as your Oracle Cloud ERP or Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O. Primarily targets the larger publicly traded companies that are going to have more than $1 billion in revenue. That's their sweet spot. The strength for SAP S/4HANA is going to be superior financial control as well as governance. The product model designed to support various manufacturing. It is one of the strongest for the product manufacturing companies, especially when you are going to have the large number of SKUs, very deep MRP layers. That's where SAP S/4HANA really shines. SAP S/4HANA also has many different best of breed solutions. For example, very deep CPQ capabilities for the product-centric companies. Then you are going to have SuccessFactors, the Hybris for the commerce. So those capabilities together make SAP S/4HANA really suitable for large companies that are going to have the best of breed needs for these departments. Now, the weaknesses for the SAP S/4HANA solution is going to be the integration challenges with best of breed solutions, the over bloated customizations, as well as controls for the smaller organizations, because the solution is designed for very large companies. And sometimes the configurations require to disable those features, or the number of approval flows that are going to be required with this solution might not be as friendly for the smaller organizations. The last mile medical device manufacturing capabilities are not going to be there as part of the solution either. So that could be a challenge too. Having said that, SAP S/4HANA is still a very strong solution for medical device companies, and that's why it ranks at number 4 on our list. Now, number 3 on our list is Infor CSI product. Last year we had Sage X3. So Infor CSI has very similar market positioning as your Epicure Kinetic product, primarily targets mixed mode manufacturing companies. The strength for Infor CSI is going to be that it's really designed from the OEM perspective, and OEMs are going to have large number of SKUs, the kind of serialized assemblies that they are going to require for the field service processes. That's going to be very unique as well. That's where Infor CSI product really shines. The quality module pre-integrated as part of all of your quality compliance processes, whether you are looking for these quality from the procurement perspective, the in-between process compliance, or you are looking at this more from the return RMA perspective, all of those are going to be part of your ERP solution itself. Now, depending upon your architecture, if you have MES in your architecture, then your processes could be very different. So you might not use the in-process quality provided by your Infor CSI solution. So that's the strength, that if you care for the quality processes as part of your ERP layer, then Infor CSI could be great. The field service capabilities are great as well, that you are not going to find with many different solutions on this list, even though they might be targeted for mixed mode manufacturing. The weaknesses for Infor CSI is that the UX and UI is not going to feel as great during the demos, not really suitable for distribution centric medical device manufacturers because the MRP processes that Infor CSI has, it's really designed for the manufacturers and not necessarily for the distributors, as well as the FDA and medical device specific regulatory capabilities are not going to be as strong either. Having said that, Infor CSI is still a very strong product for medical device companies, and that's why it ranks at number 3 on our list. Now, number 2 on our list is the product called QAD. Last year we had QAD as well, so no changes there. QAD is a very strong product for medical device companies. It does really, really well in those spaces. It targets slightly larger companies up to roughly $2 billion in revenue. So it's going to have very similar market positioning as your Infor LN or Sage X3 product. Now, the strength for QAD product is it's designed from supply chain perspective. So when you are going to care for that vendor collaboration, when you need to do your joint forecasting, that's where QAD is going to have these pre-integrated SNOP capabilities that you don't need to integrate with some of the third-party SNOP tools. The last mile medical device capabilities are going to be part of QAD as well. And then the mixed mode manufacturing capabilities are going to be there. It's a very strong discrete manufacturing product, but then it also has the process manufacturing capabilities. So in some patches, it might work great, especially if you are not going to be as deep in your process manufacturing. It might be okay for a lot of medical device manufacturers. Now, the weakness for QAD is going to be its ecosystem. The ecosystem is not as prevalent. You don't have as many consulting companies consulting in that, so you might not find as many partners. The technology and underlying technical architecture is very limiting as well, and not a great fit for companies developing large complex capital equipment. It's not designed for those verticals. But having said that, QAD is still a very strong product for medical device companies, and that's why it ranks at number 2 on our list. Now, number 1 on our list is the product called Sage X3. Last year we had Infor Cloud Suite Industrial. Sage X3 has very similar positioning as your QAD. Sage X3 is going to be slightly deeper in the process manufacturing capabilities. QAD is going to be slightly deeper in discrete manufacturing capabilities. So depending upon what your business model is, where you want the stronger capabilities, you might need to decide whether Sage X3 is going to be a better fit or QAD is going to be a better fit. Now, the strength for Sage X3 is the process manufacturing capabilities. The finance and supply chain capabilities are going to be far deeper as well. And if you are the publicly traded organization and you care for those financial compliance, the SOX compliance, the Sage has far deeper financial capabilities than some of the other operational product or vertically focused products such as QAD. The multi-entity capabilities are going to be far stronger as well. The weaknesses for Sage X3 is that the discrete manufacturing capabilities are not as strong. The number of add-ons, the options that you are going to find in Sage X3 ecosystem for discrete manufacturing companies, they might not be as many just because it's primarily targeted for process manufacturing companies. So if your primary business model is discrete manufacturing distribution, then Sage X3 may not be the best fit. But if you are slightly more process-centric business, then you might have a little bit of distribution and a little bit of discrete, then Sage X3 could be a great fit. The third-party MES options you need to find in the ecosystem, they might not be present. The last mile medical device manufacturing capabilities might not be there with Sage X3 that you need to build on top of that. Having said that, Sage X3 is still a very strong product for medical device companies, and that's why it ranks at number 1 on our list. If you like our insight, we are going to include the link of the detailed article, so you might want to check that out. Also, we publish these videos on a weekly basis, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you have not checked our digital transformation report for 2023, we include these lists as well as detailed analysis to prepare you for your implementation as well as your selection. So you might want to download that. Also, this podcast is available in the audio form on Apple, Google, as well as Spotify. So you might want to check and hit the subscribe button there. On that note, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.